What's up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Thompson and Stuff. I'm your host. You know my name. Come on now, y'all. It's been like, what, 17 episodes? Y'all know who I am. Welcome back to another episode. Um, Life, man. Life, I'm trying to put out consistent episodes, but I'm a very busy woman, but I'm very glad that we are doing an episode right now. I do want to start off by wishing everybody a happy Mother's Day. As I get older, I learned that it doesn't matter if you're a mom, like to a human, cat mom, dog mom, fish mom, gerbil mom. Happy Mother's Day to you. Um, uh, this weekend is, I think it's going to be fun. Um, Honestly, the reason why I'm a little hesitant on Mother's Day is because Mother's Day is not my favorite holiday. To me, it's a bittersweet holiday. About Sunday, 6 years ago Sunday, I lost my auntie on Mother's Day, so not a big crazy fan of Mother's Day. It's just that reason I lost my aunt. No, I don't have beef with my mom or anything. It's just that reason. But hopefully we'll get together on Sunday and have dinner with my grandmother and hang out with the family. Maybe spend time to reminisce. But I missed you guys. I mean, the last episode I put out was probably back in what, March? April's been a very busy month. As you all know, I'm getting ready to go on a short retirement. And I have 6 more books left to do so. Again, that will carry me over 2 years. So after a year and a half, 2 years, I will be going on a short retirement. So um, I'm getting my last 6 projects together. Again, as you guys know, after my retirement, short retirement, temporary retirement, if you will, from book writing, I'm just going to focus on podcasting right now. But you know what's crazy, guys? I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I'm having more book ideas. I'm having more book series ideas. So I just got to write it down so that way it'll be tucked away for another time, maybe after I'm done focusing on the podcast, focusing on the YouTube. I'm just trying to make it as a digital creator. I guess that's what they call it now. Time has changed. Now I am a digital creator. I used to be an underground writer, and I'm just a digital creator. I love it because there's so much you can do as a digital creator. You can write books, publish them online. You can have a YouTube channel. You can have a podcast where it's distributed with large platforms. My podcast, you can take a listen on Spotify, Apple Music, um, Google Podcasts, stuff like that. But we have so much to get into. Some things I did want to get into for a while. So luckily I did wait for a minute. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's go. Let's get it. So the last time we talked about the Chris Rock Will Smith slap, right? And how everybody went into an uproar. They saying, well, Chris was wrong and Will was wrong. This was wrong and that person was wrong. And to be honest, it went on for weeks. And Chris Rock didn't say nothing. Well, up until now. So, and also the consequences kicked in as well. So I don't know if I had said this on the last podcast, but Chris Rock had a show that next weekend. He went to Boston. He was on there. He was in great spirits. He looked at the crowd and said, "How was your weekend?" Just playing it off. And Will Smith, this didn't come out till later, that Will Smith was actually pictured on a family vacation in India, smiling with fans and talking with people. But there were a lot more consequences. So to start off, Will Smith is banned from going to the Oscars for 10 years. Um, to me, it is a big deal, but it's not really a big deal because this was Will Smith's first Oscar, because you guys got to keep in mind he won his first Oscar that night, like practically minutes after he slapped Chris. So knowing that, I don't think that would be a big fuss for him. Even though 10 years is a long time, it's not a big fuss. But then he also quit the academy, so um, it took me a while to figure out what that meant. So basically, he can't vote for like good which movie that will win and all that stuff. Now, at the end of the day, I just honestly think that Will Smith's not going to suffer financially. Um, there were more reports coming out during the past few weeks since the last podcast that Will Smith lost this deal, that deal. He's not going to do this. But then I also heard that a lot of lower budget movie offers are coming in. Will Smith's a megastar, megastar. What is a megastar? Megastar. So of course he wants to do movies like with Spielberg and all that stuff. And I just want to know, what is lower budget movies? Are you saying like Tyler Perry? I mean, Tyler Perry makes good movies. His budget is getting up there. You guys got to understand. He just put out Medea's Homecoming, and compare that to the earlier Tyler Perry films that came out in like what 2004, 2005. It is a step up. Are you saying that Will Smith is going to be doing more Netflix movies? I hope not, because honestly, that one movie he did for Netflix, Bright, I still don't understand it. Like, I was watching it, I watched it twice, and I was so confused both times watching it. Okay, so Will Smith, he is a cop for LAPD. Okay, he has a wife and a daughter, or he had a daughter and his wife is dead. I don't remember, but that he had his family. Okay, so now he's going into this world with aliens and monsters, and they're cohabiting with the human. See, it's confusing. It was just confusing, and then for it to have a sequel, really, you want to make me more confused. But I'm glad that one was on hold. I could live without that one. Really, I could. And then after all that came out, the Rock brothers, Tony, if you guys remember Tony Rock, he played Dirk on All of Us, which was ironically produced by Will Smith. And then there was the other one, Jordan. I think his name is Jordan. They had a brother named Kenny. I get it mixed up because Everybody Hates Chris. There's like 3 kids on Everybody Hates Chris, but in reality there was more. So I want to say it was either Jordan or Kenny, and they were ready to get booked over their brother, and I don't blame them. Don't put your hands on somebody's brother, but it's been a few weeks. I haven't heard anything else from the Rock brothers. I know Tony was pretty pissed off. I mean, he was like, I would fight Will myself. And I was like, Tony, you better sit down because it's Will Smith, bro. Like, don't do it. But the Will Smith situation has honestly quieted down. I mean, Chris Rock is, being Chris Rock. But speaking of Chris Rock, and I was going to wait till later in the podcast to talk about this, but we can talk about it now because it's still going in the news, and I have a lot of questions because all last weekend I was kind of out with my friends, and I'm trying to keep up with everything, but news just happens so fast, you guys. Dave Chappelle, our guy Dave Chappelle, was attacked on stage. I think out in LA or some. No, it was the Netflix's funny comedy tour. Some guy jumped on the stage and attacked Dave, and the first rumor that came out was there was Dave, there was Jamie Foxx, there was Busta Rhymes, and they all jumped the guy. But then another report came out that he didn't jump him. But I don't know, what is the trend with this? Why are people deciding to come on stage? Where was the security? That's my question. Where was the security? Because a big event like the Netflix is funny or whatever it's called event, there should be some security, especially with big comedians and big stars like Jamie and Busta and all that stuff. Like, where were their security? So this guy, never learned his name, but I saw a picture of him when he was in the stretcher. His arm was fucked up. Like, I'm not even gonna say jacked. I'm not even gonna say messed up. His arm was fucked up. Okay, and he went to court today or yesterday, and he pled guilty to felony attack charges. And yeah, who would like attack Dave Chappelle? Like, when I see Dave Chappelle, I see a very likable guy. Like, he doesn't cause trouble. I mean, of course he's Dave Chappelle and he has like those transgender jokes and stuff. But if I saw Dave Chappelle walking down the street in my hometown, he's leaving coffee, I would say, "What's up, Dave?" I'm sure he'll say, "What's up," too. But yeah, that guy is a lot of trouble. Hopefully, more details will come out about that, and I will definitely get back to you guys about that as well. The next thing I want to get into, Monique and Lee Daniels have made amends. Now, I was a little kid, like, I know maybe if you guys are listening to this podcast, this episode specifically, you're probably going to think, man, she sounds so confused. One, most of it has died down, or not a lot of details came out. But for the Lee Daniels and the Monique situation, y'all got to understand, Precious came out when I was like in my teens, and my mother didn't really allow me to watch stuff like that. And then I saw the movie Precious for the first time when I was like 25, and it made sense to me, like, why my mother never allowed me to watch the movie. It made sense to me why I never read the novel Push by Sapphire. Um, but I'm glad that Monique and Lee Daniels have made amends. I feel like Monique will get more work, honestly. I mean, Monique, she's working now. She's doing her stand up. You see Monique on those like Shaq All Star Weekend stand ups. I'm sure she gets paid for that, but I'm sure she could do more movies, more serious movies, because Lee Daniels makes a lot of serious movies. And I mean, I think he was involved in Empire, which was okay in the beginning, but then it just fell off in the end, and nobody really watched it ever again. But I'm sure Monique will get more serious roles. I did enjoy her in what was that movie with the black family and Christmas? Was this Last Christmas or something? She was really good in that, and I hope Monique really turns around for Monique, because she is really funny. I mean, I watched Monique my whole life, like the Parkers. Um, I watched the Parkers. I've seen all the episodes of the Parkers thanks to my aunt. She was a big Monique fan. And then Queens of Comedy came out. I've seen that a few times. Also, it is on YouTube for free. So I hope she gets more stuff. She's a really good actress. And then if you haven't seen Precious, the part where she was or if you have, it's okay. The part where she was in the social worker's office with Mariah Carey, she acted her ass off on that. Like, she did a really good job, and I think she won an Oscar for it too. She deserves it. So Lee Daniels, hook her up. But then you know what? I also heard that she's gonna do a movie, a faith-based movie. And I have another question. Why are a lot of these like writers and stuff going towards faith-based? I mean, I'm not judging. I just have to see the product, to see the final product. I know about a couple years ago, Master P, yeah, No Limit Master P made a faith based movie. I never saw it. I'm not sure if it ever came out, but we shall see how Monique is going to go with this, because she's talented and cool and funny as hell. So let that lady work, y'all. Let that lady work. Another piece of actors news. Jim Carrey is retiring. Um, I'm not sad about it. I'm happy for Mr. Carrey, because Jim Carrey has been doing movies since like the late 80s, the 80s, early 90s. He deserves it. It's been 30 years. Jim Carrey's done a lot. He's done movies, he's done TV. You know what? I'm not surprised either. Have you guys watched Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld? It's on Netflix. And Jerry Seinfeld went out to Malibu where Jim Carrey has a house. And Jim Carrey came out the house looking like bummy. So y'all gotta understand, I've been to LA, and LA is like that town where you always, anywhere you go, you gotta look good, right? So when you live in like Malibu, Beverly Hills, Calabasas, when you step out, the paparazzi's gonna be there. And when I saw Jim Carrey on Comedians in Cars, Jim looked like he was a bum about to walk on the beach, but had a nice house. And he explained that, he's into painting now and all that stuff. So we really don't see Jim Carrey in movies like that. And that's okay because everybody's got to retire at one point. And for Jim, perfectly fine. He can focus on his painting. And he has a lot of movies. So, I mean, shit, they play Evan Almighty all the time on TV. Like, there will always be a residual check for Jim Carrey, okay? He'll always be there. He'll be fine. Don't worry. So let's move over into TV news. I want to start off with Snowfall. Snowfall is ending. Not It's going to have one more season. Of course, we just finished season 5. Now, what do I think will happen on Snowfall? If you didn't watch the season finale of season 5, please fast forward to another segment because I'm going to spoil it. I'm sorry, it's true. So the season finale was about a couple weeks ago, and the final scene planted something in my mind. So the final scene was Sissy Saint and Franklin Saint, and Sissy turned to Franklin and said, "Do you want me to contact the guy from overseas?" And Franklin and her looked at each other. Now, what I think is going to happen is two things. First, we're going to go into a retrospect. Is that the right word? Retrospect of Sissy and Franklin's relationship. How Franklin grew up. Because we saw like flashbacks of when Franklin went to college and he met his one white friend who was a drug addict. So we're going to probably see how Franklin grew up before his father left and after his father left, because everyone knows Alton, Franklin's father, was on crack. And we're also going to probably see Sissy and Franklin find who they're looking for and killing him. It's going to be a combination of both. Also, there's going to be drama with Aunt Louie. There's going to be drama with Jerome. The family's probably going to be torn apart. Franklin and his girlfriend, I honestly think that Veronique, I think that's how you say her name, she's not pregnant. She's faking everything. Now, I understand that there was a scene where Veronique was getting an ultrasound. I was born in 1995, right? Was there ultrasounds machines back in 1986? Who knows? But I think that that whole pregnancy is fake. Um, at the same time, I gotta really be careful what I think, because then Louis and Jerome got married, but she did get a little bigger. But at the same time, she could have stuffed stuff in her shirt to make her look bigger as time progressed. You know what I mean? So we're just gonna figure out. We're gonna follow the drama of Franklin and Veronique. Louis, who is grimy, she's very grimy, going against family, going against Jerome and the nephew. So we're gonna probably have drama with her, and then we're gonna probably see like the sidekick between Sissy and Franklin. Who knows? We don't know when the next season is coming out. We do know for sure that there is a season 6. I cannot wait, but I'm at the same time sad because I don't think this was meant to be like a long series. Crack epidemic was in the 80s. Fortunately, John Singleton did pass away, so I guess they wanted to put a halt on it right then and there. So I can't wait to see it, and I wouldn't be surprised if I was right, because I was right last time. If you guys remember on my Instagram, I did post a tweet of me saying It's either between Franklin or Leon that someone's gonna mess up. And then I think that was like probably season 3 that Leon, he messed up. So yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I want to send a congratulations to my girl Brittany Spears. She announced she's pregnant, and we haven't seen a baby bump. She keeps saying that there is a baby bump, but you guys gotta understand. Um, Maybe Brittany doesn't want to show it. She wants a stress-free pregnancy. So, hey, I mean, congratulations, Brittany. I mean, she's 40. She's at a high risk pregnancy, so she's got to be very careful. But she's still going on, Instagram telling it how like a TI is, telling her family to fuck off. So good luck to you, Brittany. We love you, and let us know if you need anything. That's all I'm gonna say, cause that's a pregnant woman, and that's not nice. All right, so Shahs of Sunset is officially canceled by Bravo. Now, if y'all know me, y'all know I've been a Shahs of Sunset fanatic since I was in high school, with Gigi, Asa, MJ, Reza, uh, Nima, Mike. And speaking of Mike, he was arrested for domestic violence. He hit somebody that I assume was not his fiance, Paulina. Is that her name? Paulina. But they kind of kept a tight lip on that. I think him and Paulina are still together. But I hope they work it out. They are a really cute couple. And then Paulina had kids. She brought her kids into the relationship. They're engaged. So I hope they work it out. But Shahs of Sunset is officially canceled. And I had an idea that it was going to be canceled only because I don't follow a lot of the cast members on Instagram. I primarily follow Gigi and Nima. And I saw that Nima had packed up and moved to New York. So for a while, I thought, okay, how is Nima going to do Shahs of Sunset in LA, but then go back to New York and work? As time went on, before Bravo announced it, Nima was still in New York, and then Bravo made the announcement that Shahs of Sunset is canceled, and Nima then went on his Instagram. He made an Insta story. Yes, I moved to New York permanently, but I'm kind of sad. But at the same time, it's time to move on for them. I mean, again, a lot of them are getting married. A lot of them are having kids. So when you're married and you have kids, in some cases you don't need to do reality TV, because you got to understand these guys were like in my age range when they started, but now they're like 40. I mean, some of them are like 13 years older than me. I'm 27. So it's time for them to settle down and um, you know move on, live life, raise your kids, get married, and all that stuff. It's not on my list, but I did also want to share this news with you guys. If you watch My Unorthodox Life on Netflix, it's about Julia Hart. She was this big time fashion designer who was a part of this Orthodox religion, but she left, and she became a businesswoman and all that. Her and her husband are getting a divorce, and which was shocking, but not really. Because if you watch that show, you notice that they never spend time together. Like, it's sad. Like, I remember watching one scene, and this lady was like trying to have dinner with her husband, and something happened where she showed up so late, and the husband was like, it's okay. But they're getting a divorce too, which is scary as hell. I mean, why is everybody getting a divorce? I mean, it's the pandemic. Um, and it's sad for that couple too from My Orthodox Life. They had a beautiful New York apartment. I wonder where that's gonna go. I mean, it's the second season coming on Netflix soon, so we're gonna see how that plays out. And speaking of Netflix, one of my favorite shows has come back, Selling Sunset. I did officially finish the season. I don't watch Reunion, so I'm not gonna watch Reunion. But I did hear that Jason and Chriselle, they were kind of cute together though. They were. But they broke up because obviously Chriselle wanted children, and Jason was like, he wanted to be like that playboy for life, you know. But it's well, I wouldn't say it's weird. I mean, it's none of my business. Date who you want to date. But Chriselle is now dating a non-binary rapper named G. I don't want to say G Dep. G Flip. So, hey, you know, she's single. She was married to Justin Hartley. She's dating around. But I hope at the end of the day she gets what she wants. She wants children. And you know what? People from the cast are saying, oh, Chriselle and Jason, they're not going to get back together. I have secret hopes for them. I have a feeling that, you know, Jason will change his mind and take Chriselle back because they are so cute together. Not only that, if you watch the reunion, again, I don't watch reunions, but I watched clips of it and I read the Daily Mail that Jason broke down and said, that's the love of my life. Hey, I mean, Jason's kind of old too, so he can't be like a 50-year-old bachelor at that. I think deep down they're going to get back together. They're a cute couple. Cute little, well, Chriselle's kind of tall, but Jason's like real short, so we'll see. We'll see. And speaking of dating and couples and all that bullshit, Jen and Ben Affleck are engaged. Jennifer Lopez, excuse me. They are engaged. Well, the way they did it was cute. The way they did it was really cute. Jennifer made like this personable behind the scenes esque video where she said, I'm engaged. You know, she showed her little green emerald ring. It was really cute. Hopefully they'll make it down the aisle. I hope so because, you know, back in the day, back in like 2003, no children were involved. Like neither one of them had children. So when they walked away, it was nothing. But now, you know, Jennifer has her two kids, her twins by Mark Anthony, and then Ben Affleck got his kids by Jen Gardner. So, and from what I read, they all are like a one big family. So if something were to happen, God forbid, because I hope they make it down the aisle. Shoot, I look, it's been 20 years. I mean, I think she left. I honestly think she left Alex Rodriguez because she was still in love with Ben Affleck. So now that we have this family together, hurry up and get down the aisle. Like, I don't want them to break up because not only will it like make the media go crazy and get annoying, but I'm sure that the children will be like heartbroken because they probably looked at the others' children as, hey, this is my brother, this is my sister. So yeah, they're engaged. Congratulations to them. More success to you. And lastly, for this segment, Erica versus Garcelle from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm just gonna out and say it. Erica is a mean girl. Garcelle did not deserve that treatment. Erica is obviously guilty. I don't want to say of everything that she's involved with what's going on with her estranged husband, but she is. I have a feeling that she is guilty of being involved with some of those things. And also, what Erica did to Garcia was she threw her book in the garbage after I guess she assumed that Garcelle disrespected her. Garcelle works for the real. Like, she's just giving her honest opinion. But if she's giving her honest opinion, you're an adult. Just take it and accept it for what it is. You don't have to throw the woman's work in the garbage. That's so childish. And Erica's like 50 years old. Both women are 50 years old, but Garcella, she's, in my eyes, she's innocent in this. She didn't deserve it. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is premiering next week. I will be watching that. I've never missed an episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills ever. It's been on since I was like in high school, I guess, like 2011. I was 16. I'm 27 now. Shoot, I never missed an episode. There was times where I didn't even have cable in my house or like a way to watch Bravo. Somebody had cable and I went over somebody's house and I watched my show. So I'm Team Garcelle in this situation. Team Garcelle. Team Garcelle. I want to send a congratulations out to DJ Khaled and Ashanti. They both got their Hollywood Walk of Fame stars. And this is how I know I'm getting old, because I remember when DJ Khaled came out with Holla at Me in 2005. And I remember when Ashanti first came out in like 2002. Honestly, they both deserve it. I mean, DJ Khaled has produced for so many people over the years, starting with, Miami based people, Fat Joe, Pitbull, all those people. And then Ashanti, singer, actress, beautiful person, all around. Congratulations to them. And that's all I'm going to say, because they're good people and they deserve it. Except I didn't follow DJ Khaled on Snapchat because I got tired of watching him water his grass and say, Lion. I wonder if he still does that on Snapchat. I don't know. I don't really use Snapchat like that anyway, except to promote stuff. T.I. T.I. has a comedy career. How do I feel about this? I don't know, because I never saw any of T.I.'s stand up. You guys let me know, like, on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, a-marie son of Tom. Send me some clips if you find him funny. Ti is he's not my favorite rapper of all time. He used to be my favorite rapper when I was a kid, because between uh Rubber Band Man, um what's that other one? King. I don't want to say I'm Serious, because I didn't really like I'm Serious, but and I kind of missed I'm Serious as his debut. Like, I was introduced to Ti by my step cousin. He let me listen to 24s. That's the first Ti song I ever heard in my life. So you guys let me know how Ti's comedy career is. It's just shocking. I mean, at the same time, you got to understand, music doesn't make a lot of money. I mean, I'm not pocket watching, but they do say it a lot. Music doesn't make money as much as it used to with streaming and stuff. So you guys let me know how that goes. It's just shocking to me that, he's a very talented rapper, but he put it down for something so, like, this man was arrested for guns back in like 2007. I remember he had his show Countdown to Lockdown and Redemption, where he helped out people who, like, were going down the wrong path, and he turned from that to comedy. I mean, I don't know. That it's a 360 in my opinion. It is. So I'm gonna move on from that because I don't want to get in any trouble. But I want to send out some rest in peace. Very important. Rest in peace to Gilbert Gottfried. If you don't know who he is a comedian. Very funny. Very distinct voice. He talks like that. He was in House Party 3. That was my favorite role of his. If you've seen House Party 3, you remember the scene where little immature Marquise Houston, Rome, and the other little guy, uh, he looked at, I guess, Rome and said, "Sorry about your eye. Did you lose that in luggage also?" He used to do I Heart the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s back on VH1 back in the day. If you remember those types of shows, those were some really cool shows to go through retro times and stuff, which was amazing. I think they should VH1 should do that stuff again. I'm tired of Love and Hip Hop. I mean, cut back on the Love and Hip Hop. I don't know. I don't say stop doing Love and Hip Hop because that's messing with Mona Scott Young's money. I don't want to do that. But just cut back and have, like, stuff like that for old times. Rest in peace, DJ K Slay, hip hop legend, hip hop DJ from New York. Been doing the hip hop game for many years, since maybe the 80s. Rest in peace in our industry, in our culture, the hip hop culture. We miss you and we salute you for all you have done for the past 40 plus years. God bless you, and may you earn your wings as soon as possible, and may God keep you and your family. Um, this is a recent, very recent. These two are very recent. Last night, today is May 6th, 2022. Last night, news came out that Kevin Samuels, the YouTuber, the relationship expert guy, he passed away. He was with a woman, and I guess they were intimate, and they were doing it, and he, passed. He, lost his heart stopped, and it's a bizarre story in my opinion, but at the same time, you guys got to keep in mind this stuff does happen a lot. So hopefully they'll do like a toxicology report where they um, figure out what really happened, because he was young. He was 56 years old. And all day today, preparing for this podcast, I've been reading comments about how, people were, disliking him and saying, in a tone of good that he's dead. I'm not familiar with Kevin Samuels. I don't really follow him. But I understand from what I read on Twitter, he did kind of talk down on black women. Um, Again, I don't follow him, but what I will say is that this man is deceased, and it was kind of disgusting for me to read comments and see TikToks of people poking at his death. He is deceased, guys. So whoever raised you, I'm sure, kind of taught you better than to speak ill of the dead. So, Mr. Samuels, I'm so sorry. I'm not familiar with your work, but may you rest in peace and gain your wings in heaven. Jewel, if you guys are not familiar with who she is, Jewel Caples, she used to sing hooks for Death Row Records. This actually just came out a couple hours ago. She passed away today. And the person that confirmed this news was Daz Dillinger. Um, which is shocking to me because I was just watching interviews with Jewel's and her Suge Knight's cousin. I forgot her name, but they were doing an interview with the Art of Dialogue, and Jewel was talking about how how what things went down with Death Row and how she dated Snoop Dogg and all that stuff, and she looked pretty good on there, but sadly she did pass away today, and may her soul rest in eternal heaven. Um, the Black China trial is over. I did want to wait to do a podcast on this one too. Um, I honestly think that none of the sides should have won. I don't think the Kardashians should have won because Kardashians now are getting sloppier and their lies are spilling out more, and Kris Jenner is just now working hard enough to clean it up. And on the other end, Black China did say some things that I feel like you should have not said on the stand, like how you were joking about pointing a gun at Rob, and how you don't have a personal bank account and you haven't paid taxes in years. Some things you should not have said. I think that judge should have just tossed it out and left that case alone. But both sides, they exposed things, and it's a big mess. And then I watched the Kardashian show on Hulu. I watched the first couple episodes and they were cute, but then I tried watching the recent episode that came out a couple days ago, and I just remembered that I get so bored with the Kardashians. I do. I'm sorry. They just got boring. I couldn't. I used to love the Kardashians. I started watching the Kardashians on Hulu, which I did assume, I said on another podcast, that yes, they're going to be a little bit more vulnerable. They're going to be a little bit more open. Yes, because now Kim can say shit. On you could not say shit. So that was fine. But then I went back and I watched Keeping Up on E. It was so boring. I couldn't watch none of it anymore. So sorry about that, y'all. It is what it is, and I hope they continue with the success, or something. I don't know what to say. ASAP Rocky was in the news as well for two things. One, they started a rumor. They, as in the press, started a rumor that he was out cheating on Rihanna, which was obviously shut down because the young lady who works for Fenty went on her Instagram. She had to go on her Instagram and make a statement. That's so trifling. Like, I mean, I'm not saying she's trifling because I know she's not like super famous to a point where she has like PR, but leave that woman alone. She's a hardworking woman who works for the company. Who pulled her name out the hat to be accused of just accused of freaking having an affair with a man who's expecting a child with his pregnant girlfriend. Come on now. So we knew that was shut down, but then he got arrested. They were at the airport, and I guess they surrounded his private jet, and he got arrested. He got out, but ASAP's just not is taking L after L, and his child is on its way. So on her way, I think it's a girl because Rihanna was at Target and she was shopping like little girls' clothes. I wouldn't be surprised because yeah, that would be a cute little girl because ASAP Rocky is handsome and then Rihanna obviously beautiful. So yeah, ASAP's got to get it together. Another person that's got to get it together is Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty was actually sentenced to 5 years for a gun charge, and I also read on Baller Alert that he will also be on supervised probation for 3 years. So, I mean, I don't understand. Like, when did this situation happen? Because if it was before he was famous, that's kind of petty. So you're gonna punish somebody who did something before they were famous? And then he has money to. I mean, shoot, that's the American judicial system for you. Lastly, in this segment, I do want to talk about this Roe versus Wade. If you don't know what Roe versus Wade is, it's basically the law of women's rights and abortion and all that stuff. Just to summarize it, don't get mad because that's what I know what it means. There was a leak of an opinion that it should be overturned, which basically means there will be abortion bans on certain states. Um, what I think should happen is they should burn that draft, let all women have their rights in all states. But unfortunately, we are the United States, where certain parts of the country just don't believe in women having all rights. Now, you have the liberal part of the country, in my opinion, which is California, Nevada, New Mexico. I don't want to say New Mexico. Uh, California, Washington, and Nevada, honestly. And I think California and Nevada are the two most liberal states because obviously you got California, hippies, weed, you got Nevada, the Sunset Strip, prostitutes, all that stuff. Then you got the Midwest, which shout out to my home state, Illinois, will be a safe haven for anybody if, God forbid, the Roe versus Wade is overturned. If they need to have an abortion or any type of procedure done, they can come to Illinois. They will not be punished. And then you have the South and Florida. Yes, Florida needs to be separated from the South because they are their own little entity. Trust me. But I honestly think that these old ass men and these conservative ass people should really just let everybody do what they want to do. It's their body. You don't have their vagina. You don't have their penis. You're not what they're going through. Leave them alone. Just let them have their time. And this is why I'm starting to learn that all elections are very important. All of them are. Except, well, I mean, shit, where is Joe Biden in all of this? I mean, he did put out a statement saying, "Well, we don't know if it's accurate, if that leak is accurate, and blah blah blah." Listen, I'm not happy with any of the politic situation right now, and I don't want to go into why. It's a personal thing, and hopefully one day I'll get a chance to express it. But what I'm going through right now is truly breaking my heart, and I can't really get into it. But this, what's the word I'm looking for? This administration to me right now is lacking. Like, come on, guys. You got Kamala Harris. Kamala, there was a video of Kamala asking Brett Kavanaugh something about, uh, I'm paraphrasing. I saw the video, but I don't really remember what she said exactly. Basically asking, how can you determine what a woman can do with her body? Why is this video is from like way before they got in as president and vice president. Where are you now, Kamala? Like, we need you to speak up. We need that woman to speak up. We need that woman of color as well to speak up. So they are actually going to vote. I read somewhere on Daily Mail that they're going to vote to codify the abortion laws and stuff, and then I guess they're going to vote for on the Supreme Court in 2 months from now. And all I pray and I ask is that they make the right decision and everybody could live at ease, because that can affect a lot of people. Like it's affecting me right now because I'm trying to move and start up my career full time, and I want to go to Atlanta, and obviously Georgia is the South, and I can't live in a state where women like me don't have no rights. So now I got to move to across the country in a more expensive area. I don't want that. I want everybody to have equal rights and do what they need to do, because you got to understand, when a woman terminates her pregnancy, sometimes it can help them live. Sometimes, a baby does not grow properly in the woman's uterus. She has to have an abortion. Maybe sometimes she don't want to be a mom. That's okay. Um, Sometimes, rape, incest, stuff like that. And I'm glad now that I'm learning this stuff, because you guys got to understand, I went to Catholic school. I was a practicing Catholic. So Catholics, they believe in, don't have an abortion. And what they would do, this happened when I was like in 7th and 8th grade in high school. I went to a Catholic school for 1 year. They had to show me a video of aborted fetuses and stuff. And I was just like, I was kind of, I don't want to say manipulated, but in a way brainwashed. They, oh my God, abortion is bad. But as I got older and I was more educated on how women are, raped and abused, or they just don't want to be a mom, I understand now. And now I'm safe. It's safe to say I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice. It is up to the woman, and I hope that she really does get her rights. So come on, guys, let's get it together. Like Stevie Wonder said, the BB and CC verses, that America, you need to get it together and grow up. It's 2022. Y'all gotta be more progressive. That's all I'm saying. Alrighty, and to wrap up TV, three more pieces of news, and I'm gonna let you go. I promise. All right. So Nene Leakes is suing Bravo. And I think that that's weird, because how are you suing something that put you on the map? You guys got to remember, when we first met Nene lived in a regular house. She had a regular family. Rest in peace, Greg Leaks. She had her kids, regular house, regular life. She was a housewife. Like, her husband did all the work. So she's suing Bravo for, I guess, racism and all that stuff. And honestly, I don't have a lot to say about it, because I think it will be tossed out. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, Real Housewives of Atlanta is doing very well right now, especially with the like a whole cast flip. Cynthia Bailey's gone. Candy Burris is still on there, and it's a good show. I mean, it came on season premiere came on Sunday. Good show. They got Sonia Ross. She's a Jamaican American uh, track runner and all that stuff. So I honestly think this is why it's going to be very brief reporting for this, because I think it's going to be thrown out, and Nene is just going to have to go find work somewhere else. And um, Ozark, Ozark is officially over. I did finish Ozark. It took me a few days because I kept falling asleep. Kept missing stuff. So I actually sat down and I watched it. And I'm disappointed because not all my questions were answered. If you guys did not see the Ozark, or you haven't finished it yet, fast forward a little further. But I just want to know, did they go back to Chicago in peace? And that's all I want to know. But it is over. It was kind of like, it was left us on a Sopranos-esque cliffhanger, basically. So I just wonder if all my questions were answered. I just want my questions to be answered. But maybe it will be answered if I watch like one of those like behind the scenes TV show thingies, like Life After Ozark or something. And lastly, Judge Mathis is getting his own reality show on E. I can't wait to watch it. Actually, I like Judge Mathis. I grew up watching Judge Mathis. I mean, he was on my TV when I come home from school in elementary school. And from what I see on the previews, very positive, very family oriented. So I can't wait for that. And that is the end of some TV roundup. That is the end of this episode. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Shout out to Germany and Macedonia. I saw your stats on the Anchor uh, dashboard. I thank y'all so much. I can't believe I'm going international. You guys don't understand. I'm a humble old little girl from a small town outside of Chicago. I'm not Beyonce or anything, but I truly appreciate y'all listening to me every episode. All the numbers are growing. Again, y'all, happy Mother's Day to your mothers, whether they are on here on earth, here in heaven. Shout out to my mama, Betty. I know sometimes she be listening. So, mama, thank you for your support. Um, and thank you for listening, even though God forgive me for cussing and acting like I ain't got no sense sometimes. But, it's my job. I got to do my job. So, you guys stay safe out there. Remember, it is still a pandemic. So, wear your mask, get your shots, and we'll talk soon. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.